Hey guys, my name is Alethea, and I am the creator and founder of So Much Talent. I'm the business owner um, of Alethea Hudson Designs, where I create bridal and formal wear designs. Um, I am coming in today because I am, for those of you that know, I am on this journey all month long of sharing how thankful I am, what I'm thankful for. And today is day 4, and I have not posted anything yet, simply because I want to kind of do a video. It just kind of dawned on me, maybe you should talk about this one. Um, and so that's what I'm here to do. And I'm going to try to get through this without shedding tears. I don't know why it's all of a sudden become emotional to me, but this was back in 2012. Well, first, let me say what I'm thankful for. I am thankful for life and deliverance. I'm thankful to God. Let me be clear. I'm thankful to God, who is the life giver and the deliverer from all things evil. And so back in 2012, um, and I don't know how, I can't even remember how far into the year, how much of the year I experienced this, but I know I was going through some things for quite a while. And I was losing weight, and didn't know why I was losing weight. I was eating, doing all the things. I was getting really small. My hair was thinning. I was looking really frail. And, and then my body, health wise, as a woman, we go through monthly things. And, um, I was, my body just started changing. It was just different. And, I won't go into all the gory details or whatnot, but, um, my body just was very different. So I went to the doctor to try to figure out some things. Went to go see my gynecologist, and they really couldn't see anything. The first thing they recommended was a hysterectomy, and I was like, you know what? And at that time, y'all, I was hearing everybody. It's like everybody was having a hysterectomy. Everybody was, doing this or doing that, going through this. And I was like, you know what? It seemed like just hysterectomies are just given out like candy, like everybody's getting one. And I was like, no, thank you. I believe now this is me being super spiritual, y'all. And at the same time, this is me utilizing my faith. God, I don't want to lose. I don't want to get rid of any of my body parts. You gave them to me. I want to keep them all. And I'm just being real and transparent, y'all. Now, if you gave it to me, God, I want it. I'm not going to let the devil take what you gave me. So I just kept pressing through, kept believing that God was going to heal me miraculously, because that's just where my faith was. And my faith still is that God can heal miraculously if that's what He chooses to do. But my faith was that God, I don't believe I'm going to have no surgery. I'm going to have to do none of that. You're just going to heal me. You're going to heal my body. Well, I continued to go through this, and it seemed like I started losing color in my hands. Like my hands were white. Like now, you can see the blood, a little blood in there flow and pinkish or whatever. They were white. I was white. I was looking greenish. I was very pale. I was starting to have anxiety, not anxiety attacks, but heart palpitations. Um, they would just come out of nowhere, and like my heart would just start beating just really fast, and I just have to sit for a minute and just wait until it go away. And it just kept happening. All the meanwhile, I was pressing through. I was working a 9 to 5 job, and a strenuous job, mind you. I was the alterations manager of local bridal salon, and I was pressing through. And when I tell you, it was hectic. It was extremely busy, extremely hectic, stressful. Um, But I thank God I had people around me. I was praying. I had people around me that were, paying attention to me. And one of my employers at the time, one of the ladies that was working under me, she just looked at me and she said, I'm very concerned for you. And she looked at my hands and she said, your hands are just, that's not normal. Now, mind you, A lot of the ladies that were working in me, they were foreign women, but these were women of great degrees. Like this woman, she was not a scientist. I can't remember what she was, but she had a very high degree. But she was here in our country, and this is what she learned, and she loved doing what she did. So she's a very wise woman. And she said, I'm very concerned for you. You need to go to the doctor. So I went to the doctor again, and at this point, I really want to hear nothing the doctors had to say. You know, they weren't helping me. They weren't talking like I was talking. All I knew is they wanted to take my body parts. So I went to my GP, and I drove myself there, and I told him what was going on. I need to see the doctor, and so he came back, and I've been seeing him for a while. He's a very friendly guy. I miss him so much. He's deceased now. Um, but he, took my blood work and everything. So left me there to, get the test for the blood work. And he came back. When he came back with an assistant. And he just looked at me like I was a ghost. I mean, he saw a ghost. Like he just looked at me weird. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? And so he asked me, did I drive myself there? And I'm like, yeah. I mean, I didn't think nothing of it. I mean, I'm still functioning, still moving. And y'all, and let me just say, I am saving you all a lot of the gory details of all of what I went through. But just trust and know it was a lot. And so he told me, he said, he got the blood work back, and he said, your blood level, hemoglobin is down to I think he said 3.3, either 3.3 or 3.0. And he said that is the lowest I've ever seen. And he said the lowest I've seen was a man. He said he was a big guy. He was like at 4.0 or 4 point something. But he was like dumbfounded that I had even driven and that I was functioning like I was. And so he decided, well, we're going to send you straight to ER. We're going to send you straight to the doctor. You can't go nowhere else. Got to go straight there. And I'm like, but I got to go back to work, and I drove. I mean, I was supposed to go straight there. I called my husband and, well, back up. He thought that they were going to get me there and send me there and give me a pint of blood, and that'll be it. It'll be like a in and out. Well, they told him that whoever he talked to get the approval for this, they told him, no, I cannot, I have to be admitted. And that was just that. So I had to go to the doctor. I had to go to the hospital. I called my husband and everything. Of course, I think, I can't remember. I think I went home and grabbed some stuff. Of course, I had to call my job. And so I went to the emergency room, and they admitted me. And while I was in ER, of course, I had some of my family member to come. They admitted me, and I'm laying there in the emergency room just waiting for the next whatever I'm supposed to do. I thought I was going to just go get a unit of blood and go home, but no, that wasn't going to happen. So I'm sitting there laughing, just cutting up and everything with my family. And this ER tech comes in, and he goes, what happened? He said, I've never seen this case. I was losing blood is what essentially what was happening. I was losing blood out of my body. I didn't know how, whatever. And my cycles each month was becoming more and more abnormal and heavier. And I was a very normal person, very regular person, no problems, no issues whatsoever. But this started happening. And so he said, I'd never seen anybody. The only time I've seen somebody like this in your case is that they've been in a terrible accident and lost so much blood. Like I had nearly depleted blood out of my body, but I'm still walking around. I'm still moving. I'm still going to work and everything. Not knowing all of this. All I know is I'm having these heart palpitations. They're coming out of nowhere. I'm losing weight. I'm thinning. My hair's thinning. I don't know what's going on. So they get in there, and And I don't know at what point. I don't know if this was after the surgery. I think I ended up having to go and well, actually, I'm moving ahead. After I get to from the emergency room, they send me up. Oh, I'm skipping a lot of stuff. Sorry. The tech ER, that the emergency room tech, he says, "You're like the walking dead." And when he said that, something just went through me, and I'm like, "Oh my God." Now, the whole while I'm praying to God, asking God to take this from me. God, heal me, heal my body. God, I have crazy kind of faith. Like, I have the kind of faith that if God said He's going to do it, He's going to do it. I believe it. No questions asked, God. And I've been faithful for years. Like I've been in a faith-based church since I was like 13, 14 years old. And so that's all I grew up with was the word and standing on the word, speaking the word, decreeing the word, declaring it, praying. So I'm believing God. And I'm like, God, why are you not taking this from me? God, what are you doing? I don't understand. God, I want you to heal me miraculously. And I'm still believing because I am, still haven't had surgery yet. So I'm believing God's going to heal me miraculously. And we always know, it feels like God shows up at the 11th hour sometimes. So I'm still believing. So I find myself being transferred to um, the IC unit. And so now it's starting to get scarier, right? So I'm in the IC, and I end up in the IC for 3 days. And I ended up in ICU 3 days and 4 units of blood, 4 pints of blood later, and still had not reached the place of where my blood level needed to be. Like, I think when I left the hospital, they had filled me up with 9 pints, my hemoglobin had reached like 9 or 9.5. I think it should be the norm is like 10 something. But the whole while I'm in there in the bed praying, I was like, God, don't want to get units of blood. I don't want to be filled with blood for somebody else's blood. I don't know where these people be. I don't know who they are. Y'all, I'm just real talk, right? This is real talk. Like, God, I don't want nobody else's blood in my body. I don't know. They could be a psycho. I don't know. I don't want it. So I'm just praying. I'm having this tussle with God, right? And I'm not hearing God say a thing. So I'm still in the bed praying and I'm crying. I'm praying. I'm crying. And so I asked God, I said, God, why didn't you heal me? Why did I have to get this blood? And I said, what is the testimony in that? Because the biggest thing was I wanted to be able to testify and say, God healed me miraculously. I want that testimony story, right? Because I know God is faithful. I've seen God do many things in my life, and I've seen God heal me from, I seen God move, and I know God is real. And so, I know God can do miraculous things. So I want Him to do the miraculous for me. So I'm asking God this, and I'm laying in the bed, and I hear God say, the testimony is I kept you when you didn't know you needed to be kept. Like, I didn't know that I was dying. Like, I was at death's door, and that was the fear that was on the doctor. Like, how are you even here? How are you even walking and moving around? What? How? And at that moment, I kind of felt ashamed because I was like, God, I didn't even see that. Like, I didn't even know to the degree of what I was going through. I didn't know how awful it was. I didn't know how bad it was. All I know is what I wanted, right? And many of us are like that. We want what we want, how we want it. We bypass the things that are right in front of us, the things that may be not so obvious, that we don't take the time to sit back and see the goodness of God. We don't take time to know what's happening. But I had to get there. I had to go through this. I had to go there in order to be able to understand how bad it was. I didn't know. But the fact that young lady grabbed me by the hand and said, "You need to go now," that was God. The fact that my doctor sent me to the emergency room That was God. The fact that I was able to get 4 units of blood to get me back up and going again, that was God. Now, was it miraculous like I wanted? Like he, just wiped it all away and I'm back and healthy again? I wanted that to be my story, but God needed me to see that sometimes when we don't even know that He's there, when we feel like we don't feel Him or see Him, He's there all along and He's keeping us. It reminded me of Psalms 23 when He says, "Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me." It reminds me of Psalms 23, Psalms 91, and where I quote this all the time, my prayer group. We were quoting this every single day. Psalms 23, the whole chapter, and Psalms 91. And he that dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty, and under his wings we shall trust him. And he tells us that all these things shall come at us, but God keeps us from those. He delivers us. Because I know his name, he watches over me. He gives his angels charge over me. He delivers me from the snare of the fowler. He delivers me from trouble. And he satisfies me with long life. That's what Psalms 93, 91 is all about. Psalms 91. And so I have lived through that because I was under his shadow. I am under his shadow. I seek his face. I love him. I call his name. And because I did that, he kept his promise. And that is what I'm thankful for. Did I have to have surgery? Yes, I did. I ended up having to have surgery. The whole problem was I had a 12 centimeter cyst on my ovary. I ended up having to have a partial hysterectomy. And thankfully, the doctor, she called it. She didn't want to give me a full hysterectomy because she didn't want me to go into full menopause at that age. And now this is back in 2012. And so, um, yeah, it was all God. It wasn't how I wanted it. And remember, I, it wasn't how I wanted it. But God knows best. Father knows best, right? And so I had to put my trust in him and knowing that he's going to take care of me, and even when we might not even know half a majority of the times that we've been in trouble or was near death experiences or something was about to happen and God made a way, he intervened. We might not ever know all of how God has been keeping us and saving us until we get to heaven. If we get to heaven. And I know I'm going to heaven. I'm just saying. I hope you are too. But we just have to get to a place, especially now, and the month of Thanksgiving is big for me. It's big for me because I am so thankful for so many things. I have so many testimonies of how God has been faithful to me and my family, how God watches over us and keeps us. And I feel like when I see society, it just seems like we just skip right over Thanksgiving. It seems like we just bypass it like it's nothing. Like we're not thankful to God. And granted, I know there are probably people who don't even believe in God. That's your right. That is your right. And God honors that, you know? But I hope at some point that you will hear my testimony and the testimony of many others and know that there is a real, true, and living God. And I know many people say, well, if there is a God, why is this happening? Why is that happening? Well, you read all through the Bible, many things happen to many people, but that does not negate the fact that God is real. God is real. God loves us. God is watching over us and keeping us and protecting us. And there are things that must happen. There are things there are there are things that are going to happen, but that doesn't negate who God is. Why do loved ones pass away? We never know when their time is. We want to believe that everybody's going to live a long life, and but God satisfies us with long life, the length of time that He has given us. He knows the days and hours, the days and times for each and every one of us, right? And we don't know how people are, what they believe, and we just don't know. There's so many circumstances to it. There's conditions. There's all sorts of things. So we don't know the answers, but what we are asked to do is trust God. I don't know about anything else. Have we had devastating things happen in our life? Yes, we have. Do I still trust and believe God? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I still trust and believe in God. But today, I am thankful for life and deliverance. I am thankful for the giver of life. God is the father of life. I thank him for saving me, delivering me from the hands of the enemy, from the snare of the fowler. When death thought he had me, God said, no, it's not your time yet. So I'm thankful. And anybody and everybody I can share that with, I do. And today, I just felt like I needed to share that. So I hope that helped somebody. I hope that was a blessing to somebody. Um, but that's my testimony. And that is my Thanksgiving for today. So for the whole month of November, I will continue to every day share something that I'm thankful for. It's not going to always be in video form. I might write something out, a testimony. I might come back in video. I don't know. But every single day, I'm going to share something that I'm thankful to God for. Amen. And I encourage you, I invite you to do the same thing. Just share something that you are thankful for. All right. Well, this is Alethea again. So Much Talent, Alethea Hudson Designs. I love you to life, and you have a wonderful rest of your day.